Hello, welcome to the Final Fantasy playlist. My name is Adam, and in this episode, we're talking all about Return to Firetop Mountain. Return to Firetop Mountain is book 50 in the series, and it was the fourth release for 1992. It was written by Ian Livingstone, and the front cover there was done by Les Edwards, with all the internal artwork being done by Martin McKenna. And the internal artwork, I've got to say, is absolutely spectacular. It is highly detailed, really nice work. Every picture you turn to is a simple work of art. There is not one picture in here that is just basic. And there is even a little Easter egg in this book. If we turn to 262, we will find the author himself, Ian, has been placed inside this book. The illustrator, Martin, has placed Ian as one of the pictures there. So that was a fun little Easter egg to find there. Now, Return to Firetop Mountain. I'll tell you what. Let's read the story and let's find out what the story is. It says, Firetop Mountain, the forbidding peak whose dark shadow once cast gloom over the whole of northern Alancia, has been quiet for 10 years. It has been that long since the diabolical reign of the evil sorcerer Zagor was ended by a heroic adventurer who braved the countless perils of the dungeons beneath the mountain and succeeded where so many had failed before. But now, resurrected by the power of dark sorcery, Zagor has risen from the dead. More evil than before, the crazed wizard is intent upon wreaking his revenge upon all of Lancia. He must be stopped, and for good this time. Some brave adventurer, you, must enter the forbidding labyrinth and bring justice once more to the Lord of Firetop Mountain. So, like I was saying before, I mean, that sounds awesome straight away. That was very well written. Really enjoyed that. The book itself, I really loved it. I died very early on, and this book, book 50, was supposed to be the end of the Fighting Fantasy series. It was a 10th anniversary special story, and it was going to end the series. But the book was that well received that they decided to do another 9 books, and we'll get to them in future episodes. But this Return to Firetop Mountain, and especially my copy, which has the gold embossing on it, means it's the original print. Later editions came with a silver or a non-gold embossed print. And it was also re-released for the Wizard series, and it had a special edition gold covering on that as well. But the book itself is a fantastic return to form from Ian Livingstone. Very well written. I died very early on, and it was kind of a foolish death as well. So I will definitely be returning to this book. I really enjoyed what I read. I only got literally about 5% in. A very simple mistake, and so we'll go back to read this. But I really highly enjoyed it. I rate it quite high up in the ranking for personal preference. I don't know how everyone else sits on that. And I know that there is another book called The Legend of Zagor, which also uses the Warlock's character from this series now. And I know also for a fact that they are returning to form with a special anniversary book again. I think next year in 2020. It possibly even might be this year in 2019, but there will be another return to this character and to Warlock, to the Firetop Mountain in a future book. I don't know if it's written by Steve and Ian combined, but I do know Ian is working on that book as we speak now. But the character, I mean, like, you're thinking, well, hang on a second, I killed this dude, like it said in the text. Like, how come he's come back to life? And it's really nicely explained, which I can spoil now. It's not a big deal. It does tell you in the introduction anyway, that he cast a spell on himself before you even, like in the first book, before the adventurer even got to him, which basically says that, if he dies, if somebody kills him, assassinates him, in a certain amount of time, he will come back to life. That's why on the cover he kind of looks a bit like Frankenstein. He looks like he's been pieced together. I mean, this whole cover is just ace. There's so much going on it. There's so much to see, and he himself looks like the top of Firetop Mountain, like he's exploding out, I mean, it's an awesome book. I really like. If you're a collector of the series, you're going to get it anyway. Of course you are. But if you are, sort of curious about the story, is it good or bad? Definitely good. Definitely worth picking up and looking for. So let me know your comments in the comment section below about how you fared with this book. Did you find it easy? Did you not find it easy? I haven't heard many fans talk about this book, so I don't know how many fans have actually read this book. There's very few fans that do have all the books to the series, and I'm a fan who is lucky enough to have all the books of the series. We've covered all the sorcery series, we've covered the advanced series, we've covered all the other little books like Fighting Fantasy, Out of the Pit, Dungeoneer, stuff like that. But we're coming to the end of this series now. We're on book 50. There's only 9 episodes left of this series 1, and then that will be it. And these videos that I do, they're not like reviews. These are just like first glances, so people can see the covers, because not everybody has access to the book itself or the cover. And inside the book, there's nothing new added to this. The adventure sheet is your bare bones one. There's nothing new. There's no new rules. This is your very basic adventure. Really, really good. So once I've gone through series 1 of just showing you the cover and a bit about the story and stuff like that, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna take certain books and eventually do them all, but then do a proper review and rate it out of 10. Give it a rating and give it a proper review. Show you charts, show you maps. Read the book until I finish the book, and sort of explain any hiccups within the book, and a proper review on the book. Because for me, I feel like nobody can review anything unless you've completed it, unless you've seen everything of it. And I intend to see everything of every book. So I will go through each book, complete it, and we'll start reviewing the books probably later this year. We've got another 9 weeks to go before we finish this series, so then there'll be a few months break, and then I'm going to come back with a series 2 to the Fighting Fantasy, and it will be a review of the books, giving it a rating out of 10, and yeah, and we'll do another top 10 as well, because I'm sure that might have changed since we did that like 2 years ago. I think it's been a couple of years since we did this. We started, I think, in 2017, was it? Or 2018? It was either last year or the year before, and I think it was the year before when I started doing this. So, yeah. So that's it for this episode, guys. Thank you for watching. And, again, let me know your thoughts on this book. And in the next book, we're going to be looking at Island of the Undead and see where the series takes us from there. Thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notifications. Make that bell ring, and give me a like spike as well to let me know that you've enjoyed the video, or a thumbs down to let me know that it's rubbish and I need to make it better. I really do appreciate everybody's comments and everybody's everybody's subscription to follow me, and it really does help me, boost me to want to do more videos. I do enjoy this. So I also do have a lot of things on my channel. Check that out as well. And I'll see you next week, adventurers. Take care. Bye-bye.